Harry Belafonte has emerged as an elder statesman, a living shorthand for the union between popular art and social justice. In the 60-plus years since he entered the nation's cultural consciousness as an actor and vocalist, Mr. Belafonte has collaborated with giants of American history, using his name and reputation to bring attention to the most pressing matters of our time. Now, at 90 years old, he is as outspoken as ever and leading by example for a new generation of artists turned activists. Mr. Belafonte will be my guest at the National Action Network's annual conference as we honor him, and so many are coming out for that later this month. But I wanted his thoughts, I wanted his vision, and I wanted on this Easter morning to hear from the man that shaped a century, Mr. Harry Belafonte. Welcome, Mr. Belafonte.
Thank you, Reverend Al Sharpton. Call me Harry, would you?
All right, Harry. I gotta call you Mr. Belafonte. I always tease you. You're our father in the movement, and you know you're not just an artist that supported the movement. You were in the movement, in the trenches. You've done more behind the scenes than in front of the scenes, and really orchestrated others that came in and made appearances. You. From Nelson Mandela to Dr. King, and I mean, it's been an amazing journey, and that's one of the reasons we're honoring you. But I wanted you to share with us, at this point in American history, as one who has seen the trajectory from the back of the bus to an African-American president, and now to Donald Trump, how do you see this?
I tell you, Reverend Sharpton, I sit here somewhat nonplussed. 90 years is a long time to been graced with life, and I've been very much involved in watching America shape itself for most of the 20th century. We've committed so much to making civilization a bit richer than the way we found it when all of us entered into the space. And with the struggles of the Great Depression back in the 30s, the struggle with the great rise of Hitler and the Axis powers and that great Second World War, and right after that, the great struggle with civil rights and the great conflict in this nation with our wars, Vietnam, we've been through a lot. And I must say that as triumphant as we have been on so many levels, I had assumed that by the time I got this far, America would be in a much happier place. But to now find us in the midst of more conflict than we deserve, more conflict than most of us thought would it be here today now, this way, it puzzles me. We've been through a lot as a nation. The integration movement did a lot to turn this country around. And yet, somewhere, somehow, we blinked. Somewhere, somehow, we missed a step. Because now we're sitting here struggling with Donald Trump and the evils that he brings to the menu of life. And I'm looking for that energy to come out of our community that will just let him know that enough is enough, and that we're made of better stuff than he would choose to understand and believe. I think we'll turn the corner. We'll do well. America seems to have a propensity for doing that. No matter how often things have looked bleak, somehow the nation has worked its way through the problem. I think we will do that again. But I think most people were blindsided by what he brought to the table. It's a sad commentary, but 4 years isn't, I hope, is not as long as we see it coming, as long as it appears to be.
You are now being, in many ways, copied and people emulating their artistry. I've seen countless artists say, I'm becoming involved because of Harry Belafonte. I want to be like Harry Belafonte. And the list, I don't want to name any because people would get angry at me and you if I left them off, but the list is long. And you always would tell some of us how Paul Robeson impacted you. What was the thing that made you? You were by any measure, a megastar before the term was created. But you decided to use that to become involved in bettering this country and other countries. I mean, I was there when you walked Nelson Mandela in this country when he first got out of jail because you had struggled, and he wouldn't listen to anyone but Harry Bell. What did Harry say? Harry say. And so you affected South Africa struggles in Europe. What made you decide to put your commercial artistry on the line for causes? What was the deciding factor for you?
I tell you that there are two things that are responsible for those values that I reveal in my daily choices. First was my mother, who was an immigrant woman, came to America looking for a chance at life, and what she had not expected was that the issues of race would have been so severe. She came from the island of Jamaica. She thought that here in America she stood a better chance, but she did not have the opportunity come her way. And it's how she survived that fact, the dignity in the way in which she dealt with the challenges that were put before us. Her choices in life, her tenaciousness in dealing with the adversarial things that came our way, set the example. The second thing was the poverty itself. I think that a lot of people look upon poverty as it should be looked upon as something to try to distance ourselves from. But the truth of the matter is that people who come through the poverty culture, who live through the challenges of poverty, really have a chance at life because in that community there's a care